Good morning, McAvinnue's School. Mr. Domina here, handling the McAvinue morning announcements with the help of Stevie Nicks. Today is Monday, November 3rd, 2025. Thank you once again for joining me for the Monday edition of McAvinnue's morning announcements. It's the first edition of the month of November. The first official day of November was on Saturday. That was November 1st. I can't believe it. We've already finished 2 months of school, going by super fast. Last week, super busy at McAvinue with the spooky spirit in the air. We had our big event at McAvinnue's Spooky Fun Fall Family Celebration on Wednesday. Gave out 9 bins of candy. Unbelievable amount of people that came through the building. It was super fun, and that spooky spirit continued all the way to Friday, the official day of Halloween. We had many of our faculty dressed up, and believe it or not, we had a few students dressed up too, even though you were not supposed to, because remember, Miss Annie's pre-K class was the only one that was supposed to dress up. We did have a few kids dressed up. Wasn't a big deal, because they didn't have really a lot of costumes on. It was more just accessories and props that they had for their costumes, so ultimately it wasn't a big deal. So hopefully you had a really good time. If trick-or-treating and celebrating Halloween is your thing on Friday, it was super windy out. We only had a handful of trick-or-treaters at the Domina household. I think the weather really impacted having people out. We tried to do our fire pit like we usually do in our driveway, and the wind was whipping around. It was a little interesting out there, but hopefully you were able to get out, get some candy, and you had some fun, because I did hear some neighborhoods were really packed around Lowell and the town in Billerica where I live as well, maybe just not around where I was. But we have an interesting couple of weeks where we have a 4-day work week this week, and we have a 4-day work week next week. And the reason why? For tomorrow, no school, because it's the local election day that's happening. So McAvinue is a site where people vote in this particular area, or precinct is what it's called. And so Lowell over the years have had school and then no school for students, and teachers would have their professional development or their learning day here at school. This year, no school for anyone. That is for students and for teachers. We'll be out of the building completely. That way, this place will have an opportunity to be the voting site only. So we have a day off, and we also have a day off next week due to Veterans Day, and I'll talk a little bit about that toward the end of the week. So mark your calendars. I did put out some messaging already in our newsletter, but I will do that on Class Dojo and social media, and do an email to families so that everyone's aware. But students, you can do your part by reminding your parents that there's no school tomorrow due to the local election day. And that is it for our reminders. We're ready to go to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. So let's stand up. I was like stumbling over there because we've had like so many reminders and announcements over the last like 2 or 3 weeks, and we've only had one now. So I was like not ready for the pledge. All right, so let's make sure that we turn our voice off and that we face the flag that's our classroom, and put our right hand over our heart, and we will begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Nice job, everyone, showing your ultimate sign of respect. It's weather update time, and remember on the Monday edition, slow down, Mr. Domina, we simply cover the Monday weather and the Tuesday weather so we can plan accordingly. And so today, November 3rd, that is the Monday, like I mentioned before. 59 degrees. So temperature-wise, warmer than the weekend, which is a positive thing. But if you look at the graphic, cloudy all day, so it's not going to be a lot of sun. And then the rain creeps in with some showers in the afternoon, about a 60% chance of rain. So what does that mean for us here at McAvinue? I'm not 100% sure when the rain's going to be rolling in the afternoon. Hopefully we'll be able to squeeze in some of our recess time, because most of that happens throughout the morning and then a little bit in the very beginning of the afternoon. But keep your eyes peeled for the weather conditions outside, because you might have to pivot quickly and then have our indoor recess. So make sure that you are thinking of an activity that you might want to do if you're not able to go outside. Tomorrow, on the day off, it's going to be 56 degrees and sunny. So it's going to be a very nice day to get outside and get some fresh air. Maybe go for a short bike ride, play in the yard, go to the park. It's going to be some decent weather conditions. A little brisk out there, so make sure that you dress appropriately. Sweatshirt, leggings, maybe some sweats or joggers would be appropriate. Probably don't have to wear a big, heavy jacket. So those are weather update for the next 2 days. So plan and dress accordingly. So as I mentioned on the Friday edition, we're sticking with the eagle pose because we only did it once last week. And remember, the eagle pose is that red pose, just like the card indicates on the screen. And remember, the red poses traditionally involve some more classic yoga movements, and the eagle pose does that. So as we set it up, remember, the eagle pose is either helps us remain calm or it gets us to a calm state. And when we do that, we can think clearer and we're more focused. And when that happens, we have the better opportunity to have a more positive and productive day. That's not just for students, that's for adults as well. Because remember, if you're thinking of things clearer and you're more focused, you can easily accomplish all of the things that you need to accomplish that day, including having some positive interactions with your friends, all right? So let's get to it. The way that we do this, it involves some movements that include balance and that tricky arm movement that we have to do. But let's get to it right now. We're going to start in the standing mountain pose, which is our feet hip width apart and hands down by our side. And from here, we want to control the lower body movement first. You have to figure out a base leg that you want to stand on. I'm going to stand on my right leg, lift my left leg, and wrap it around my right leg. Now, you can put your toe on the floor with the leg that you lifted up if you want to maintain balance and you're struggling, but you can challenge yourself by lifting your foot off of the floor so you're balancing on one leg. That's what I'm doing right now down here. I'm going to push and challenge myself. Here's that tricky upper body movement that I mentioned before. So what we want to do is cross our arms like we're making the letter X. So let's do that, cross it, and turn our wrist so our hands are touching. So let's do that one more time. Cross so your palms are out, turn your wrist, and then your palms should be touching, and put them in the center of your chest. So those are all the movements that are there. And you really want to work on your balance. And remember, sometimes having a focal point or something that you're staring out across the classroom without taking your eyes off of it will help maintain your balance. And that's what I'm doing. I'm looking at the wall in front of me. So let's take a deep breath in with our nose and release it through our mouth. One more time, deep breath in through our nose and release it through our mouth. All right, nice job. And for the sake of time, we're going to release our arms, put them down by our side, put one leg next to the other, hip width apart, and we are in the standing mountain pose to end the eagle pose. So, really, really cool pose overall. Remember, you can continue to do the breathing technique while you're maintaining that position with your lower body and upper body until you feel like you're at that calm and focused state. I felt like 2 were appropriate for me, and we also have to move on with other things for morning announcements. But if you wanted to do it a few more times, you can do that as well. So hopefully this pose worked for you on this Monday. If you are struggling with your movement and your balance and you want to give it a second try, no worries. We'll do that again as a collective school on the Wednesday edition. But nice job, everyone, with the eagle pose. I like that pose. All right, there's the DJ Cat saying happy birthday. And on the Monday edition of Morning Announcements, we cover the Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday birthdays to get our week going. So let's get started on Sunday. That was yesterday, November 2nd. We have Kyle's birthday in room 201 and Rose's birthday in room 303. So let's get caught up with our Monday birthdays. That is today. Remember, it's November 3rd. It's Caleb's birthday in room 208. It's Miss Francis's birthday. She works in food service downstairs. Typically, you see her in the morning time, and then she's out of here by the afternoon. It's her birthday today. And it's the one and only Mrs. Vayer's birthday. You can say happy birthday to her. Remember, she's our brand new first grade teacher in room 201. So now we still have to cover the Tuesday birthdays. So let's get to it right on the bottom. And that's November 4th, and it's Darius's birthday in room 301. So that's it for our birthdays. So let's do our birthday celebration round of applause so we can launch these birthdays in full McAvinue style. All right, stay tuned for the Wednesday edition of Morning Announcements. We'll cover the Wednesday birthdays and Thursday birthdays right in the middle of our week. So it's joke of the day time. And remember, I told you we were shifting away from the spooky jokes, but I did have a student that provided 3 jokes to me on Friday, and I picked one joke and I modified it slightly and took out, it was a joke focused on a vampire, but I did swap it out with a monster. I don't know why I did that, just because I think I could find the graphic that connected to the joke a little bit easier. So that's kind of what I did. So let's get to it. Love this joke, even though it's spooky and we're past the spooky season. It's so great, I wanted to put it on there. So here we go. Why did the monster eat a light bulb? Think about that one. Why did the monster eat a light bulb? Interesting. Now, remember, we would never do that because it's ultimately not safe, right? We would never eat a light bulb. But for the sake of the joke, you never know with a monster, right? You never know what they're eating. So in this case, the monster is eating a light bulb. So why did the monster eat a light bulb? Do you have a guess, prediction, or suggestion locked in your mind? All right, I think everyone's ready to go. So why did the monster eat the light bulb? Because it wanted a light snack. What does the graphic look like? There it is. There's that monster. Want a little light snack? There's a light bulb. Got the fork ready to go. So that's McAvinnue's joke of the day. Remember to share it with family and friends to get them to smirk, to get them to smile, and better yet, to get them to laugh. The whole idea of doing these jokes, starting our day out with a smile on our face, getting a little silly, trying to guess the punchline of the joke, and then you can share it out with somebody else. See if you can make their day later on, because you never know. A joke is all it takes for somebody to kind of turn their day around and start to think of things in a little bit more of a positive and silly way. That's a great joke. I love that graphic. Stay tuned for the Wednesday edition. We'll move away from our spooky jokes and we'll get to more appropriate late fall jokes. You never know, Thanksgiving jokes might be in there as well because that's the next holiday that we have coming down the pipeline at the end of the month. All right, that's a good one. I love that graphic. Adorable. All right, so we do have multiple good news stories to share as well as ST Math. Take a look at this one right there. So these are our kindergarten friends in Mrs. Woods and Miss Ohm's class in room 207. And so they had a really productive week working on a variety of different skills and things that were going on there, focusing on their reading and writing development and also focusing on some of their math skills that they were practicing. Really great pictures, a lot of fun learning. They even threw a STEM challenge in there as well. So it was super, super fun, super positive. Love when students are working on a variety of different things throughout the week and throughout a day. It really challenges your brain to really say, like, I got a lot of things that I need to learn and we're going to try to fit them in. But great job, my friends in room 207. Keep working hard. We love that. All right. Speaking of working hard, we had our third grade students in room 303. Mrs. Katrumpus's classroom and Miss Mitchell's classroom. They were working really hard on their narrative writing. So they completed it. They did some illustrations as well. And they really were focusing on taking some of the elements from the Magic Treehouse books that they've been utilizing during their literacy time with ARC. It was really, really great. I can't wait to go up there to do some formal reading of these things. Now, I saw the covers. They look really cool, but I'm going to head up there today to be able to flip through some of those the finished products. I did see some works in progress over the last couple of weeks, but it was very, very cool to see the finished product. Take a look. There's a sample. So nice job, my friends, in room 303. Really cool. All right, and so speaking of really cool, everyone knows Caleb in room 304. So everyone also noticed that we also had Leo the Lion and Gigi that were out by the main office area dressed up in spooky Halloween style. And so Caleb was responsible for the idea to get that up and running. Kind of created a Frankenstein version, which was really, really cool. He also had a blackout bullying version that you might have remembered. That was earlier. That's how the whole concept got started. So he dressed up Leo again in kind of the Frankenstein mode with some of the help of his friends upstairs. And then I challenged him and said, can you think of something for Gigi? And I know Mrs. MC, Caleb, and some of the students really worked on this particular idea, which was the clown, which was really, really cute. Had to give a shout out. Caleb, we love the commitment to McAvinue, and we love the creativity. Really, really cool. So I had to give a shout out for that. And now we're going to shift gears to ST Math. So we're going to hold our round of applause until the very end. So right now with that challenge that we just completed, that we just finished up, and I'll do a little bit of an announcement down there. We're at 24% progress as a school, and we completed over 220,000 puzzles. So simply amazing. We're well on our way to 100% progress and 1 million puzzles. Remember, I mentioned Dev on the Friday edition. He's our latest 100%er. We're also going to give Dev a shout out because he completed over 1,000 puzzles in 1 week, which is simply amazing. So that's a combination of doing some work here at the school as well as doing some work at home. So remember, ST Math is a program that you can do at home as well. If you have a tablet, it works on that. If you have a laptop, you can do it on that as well. So congratulations, Dev. We had to give a shout out because Dev worked really, really hard with 1,000 puzzles last week, and you might be wondering, he is a 4th grader in room 310. We also have some 100%ers, brand new ones, and they're starting to trickle in now, and that'll continue throughout the rest of the school year. 100%ers and beyond. Right now, that's Freddie in room 310, 100% progress. Congratulations. You'll join the others on the 100%ers board. Amazing. And we're also going to add another fourth grade student, that's Sailor in room 307. Congratulations. Love Sailor with the new glasses on, looking handsome, more handsome than usual. So congratulations. That is it for our good news stories. It's time to do our celebration. Congratulations. Round of applause. All right, love that, love that, love that. So keep those good news stories coming. I do have some set up all ready to go. But if you take a picture of something that you think is worthy of a good news shout out, send it my way and we'll be happy to get it up on morning announcements. All right, so I'm just going to do a quick recap. We did our first challenge for ST Math where we did Gigi's Mystery Pumpkin Puzzle Pursuit, and that was for a couple of weeks right in the middle of October until the very end. And remember the big winners that we had? We had our friends in room 205. They were the first winner. Our second winner was our friends in room 310. And then our third winner was our friends in room 109. And then we also had two winners on that last round. Those are our friends in room 307. And I'm going to get a picture of our friends in room 108, pardon me. And then I'll put that up on the Wednesday edition as well. But I wanted to give a shout out. Next puzzle challenge is going to be coming up very, very soon. I'll be sharing out some of the details of that on the Wednesday edition. That is going to come for the month of November, turkey trot style. That's what we typically call that challenge. So back-to-back challenges, and we're going to get that percent progress and puzzle completion up. So stay tuned for those details, but nice job, everyone. Ooh, take a look at that screen. We got a teal background with kind of a ceramic purple lion. That's pretty cool. Well, when you see that, it's time to talk about McAvinnue's core values. What's the first one, everyone? Ooh, you know it. That's right. It's respect. The second one, nice and loud. All right, I like that. Responsibility. And the final one, all right, you know it. It is safety. So nice job. What I really want to focus on today is respect. And the way that we're going to respect others in this school is that we want to provide the language that we're using in a kind tone, all right? So typically we focus on kind words, and sometimes we throw in kind actions. But today I really want to focus on your tone. Your tone of voice is not what you're saying, but it's how your voice sounds. And the tone of voice is something that can send a different message, and you need to be very aware of that, right? So an appropriate tone of voice would be if somebody is doing something that is bothering you and distracting you from your work, a proper tone of voice would be like, hey, excuse me, can you stop doing that? You wouldn't want to scream at the person and tell them to stop doing that, right? That wouldn't be a respectful tone of voice. So today's challenge focuses on respect, not so much about the words that you're using, even though I want you to use respectful language. I want you to really think about the tone or how it sounds, all right? Double thumbs up if you think you can do that. Oh, I like that. And remember, when we put respect, responsibility, and safety all together, we will continue to make McAvinue the best school that we all know. That's it from me. It's fist bump sign out time. Let's get on with our day. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. So go get them today. Work hard today. Laugh today. Smile today. Remember your respect challenge. Work on that tone. How are you sounding? Also include some positive, respectful language, but really focus on your tone or how you are communicating to others. What does it sound like? All right. And enjoy this day, because tomorrow is a day off. Then we have 3 days before the weekend. So on these short weeks, I need you to really focus on completing your schoolwork and making the most of your learning minutes, because we're already going to be missing about 6.5 hours of our week because of the election day that's happening tomorrow, and then next week due to Veterans Day. All right, so you really got to maximize your minutes. It's going to be super busy here overall this week, even with the short week. So let's really stay focused, have a productive day, and enjoy your time here at McAvinue. So that's it for me. You'll catch up with me and Mr. Shanahan in all the usual places, which is everywhere. So go get them, have some fun, and we'll see you soon. Take care.